Well, hey there, happy Thursday, everybody. Thursday, July 28th. We are almost finished with the month of July, and we then will come into August and that very fun and sometimes stressful season known as hurricane season. So let's hope that we are spared this year. So, Bill O'Leary, coming to you live. I'm an estate planning attorney, elder law attorney, probate and estate and trust administration, and my firm is Legacy Planning Law Group. So, what I do, and I've been doing it for quite a while now, is to go live on Thursday, and we call it our Thirsty Thursday series. Okay, and so it's where I go live about this time and talk about sort of a different topic, issue, situation that I've seen in my law practice. So, as I like to start off saying, if you're thirsting for knowledge, you've come to the right place. Now, today's topic is: so how do you deal with in your estate plan with an estranged child? A child that you've been estranged from, or you have a difficult relationship with. Look, unfortunately, not all families get along. So if you're having problems with one of your children, you may not want them to benefit from your estate. And so if that's the case, there's several strategies for dealing with an estranged child in your estate plan. Now, depending on the level of estrangement and the reasons for it, here are some things that you might want to consider, some approaches maybe for how you go about treating a child differently in your estate plan. One is just simply cutting them out altogether, what's called an outright disinheritance. If you really don't want your child to receive anything from you, you can fully disinherit the child. Now, this is where sometimes people get into trouble. To be on the safe side, even if you're leaving your child nothing, you should specifically mention the child in your will and then say that you're actually disinheriting them. And I like to use a verbiage that says disinheriting, so and so for reasons known to him and me, or to her and me, and just leave it at that. Because failing to at least mention them and say that you're disinheriting them could make it easier for them to challenge the will. You also need to specify whether you're disinheriting that child's children as well. Okay? Now, if you disinherit a child, it comes with a risk because he or she, they may contest the will in court, which can cost your estate, time and money. So there are steps you can take to try to prevent a will contest, including making sure that your will is properly executed, witnessed, notarized, all that. How about writing a letter to the estranged child to explain your reasoning, your thought process, and then removing any appearance of what's called undue influence, okay? Now, an even better solution might be to put your estate, not have it go through a will, but to put it in an alternative to a will called a living trust, because it's almost impossible for someone to challenge a trust. Anytime a new client comes in and says to me, well, I am going to be cutting out, let's say, a child or a descendant, then I talk to them about a living trust as an alternative to a will, a much better way, because a trust is virtually impossible to challenge a trust. Well, you could challenge a will with a good enough reason. How about another approach, just giving them something but making it smaller relative to the other children, so a smaller inheritance. So if you don't want to disinherit your child entirely, or maybe you want to make it less likely that they're going to contest the will, you might want to leave them some amount of inheritance that, albeit, is smaller than what everyone else is getting. Leaving a child a reduced inheritance may prevent them from contesting the will. And then how about this approach? Putting the inheritance in a trust, like I was just saying. If the reason why you don't want to leave your child an inheritance isn't because they're estranged, but how about because you're worried how they're going to use the money, maybe not use it responsibly, you can leave that child's inheritance in a trust that would kick in at your death. That way you can still provide them an inheritance rather than cut them out altogether. So it's a way to sort of create a lockbox for them. And you can provide instructions to your trustee on when and how the trustee should distribute money, disperse the funds from the trust to your loved one. So for example, you can instruct the trustee, let's say, to disperse the money in small increments only, um, or you can specify those increments, or maybe you might want to say that the trustee can only distribute money out if certain conditions are met, like maybe staying drug or alcohol free, or maybe holding down a full-time job for a certain period of time. So figuring out how to treat an estranged child in your estate plan, it's complicated and emotional. And as Leo Tolstoy, the Russian author, wrote in his famous novel Anna Karenina, he said, happy families are alike, but every unhappy family is unhappy in its own way. So each situation is different and unique. So if you'd like to know a little bit more about how to deal with an estranged child in your estate plan and maybe how we can help, we'd love to talk to you. And to make it really easy for you, we encourage you to take that baby first step to schedule a what's called a 15-minute discovery phone call. It's complimentary. And you can do that by going to our website, legacyplanninglawgroup.com. Click on the blue Book Your Free Call button. Can't miss it on the homepage. I think it appears more than once. And when you click on it, it'll take you straight to our booking calendar. Just pick a day and time that works for you. We'll get on the call, and it's a chance basically for us to start to get to know each other and start a conversation. Again, that call is complimentary. So if you've enjoyed this video, I would ask that you like it, better yet share it with your friends. And if you'd like more information about other topics relating to the things that we handle, estate planning, elder law, probate, trust administration, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just type in Legacy Planning Law Group. So I hope you've enjoyed this talk about how to deal with an estranged child in your estate plan. And as I said at the beginning, I plan on giving another talk, Facebook Live talk, next Thursday at about the same time. Okay, and again, it's part of our Thirsty Thursday series. So if you're thirsting for knowledge, we will quench your thirst. So Bill O'Leary, signing off for now. Hope you make it a great day, have a great upcoming weekend, and go make it a better world.